China is cracking down on Halloween. It has every reason to be afraid. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell, and thank you. Because on October 5th, we launched this fundraiser on GiveSendGo to help China Uncensored build a censorship-free website. And not only did you guys launch us past our first goal, but our second goal as well. And now we've started the process to build iPhone and Android apps for you too. We should be ready to launch the website part in November. We'll be giving you exclusive episodes, special live streams, and a members-only chat. Now, if you contribute $15 or more to our fundraiser, we'll give you your first month's premium website subscription for free. And there are 3 other exclusive rewards too. But the cutoff is the end of the day tomorrow, October 31st. So if you haven't already, this is your last chance to support us on givesendgo.com/China Uncensored. And now, on with the show. And gather around, everyone. It's almost Halloween. You know what that means. Time for a spooky story. So turn down the lights, fire up those jack-o'-lanterns, and let me tell you a tale about something truly horrific. The Chinese Communist Party! I'm not kidding. Halloween in China gives scary a whole new meaning. As in, I'm scared the Chinese police will arrest me for wearing a costume. In Shanghai in particular, the police came out in force. They confronted people in costume, forcing some to remove their costumes and arresting others, often using force. Not even traditional Chinese costume was safe. How dare the Chinese people imply that China had a history from before the Chinese Communist Party was in power? Now, it wasn't just in Shanghai. Hangzhou saw a lot of police crackdowns as well, with arrests, of course, like this one of a woman dressed as famous actress Fan Bingbing. I guess that makes a certain kind of authoritarian sense since she was disappeared back in 2018 and only recently reappeared last year. You know it's bad when dressing up as a famous actress is subversive. Even being too sexy could draw down the ire of the police and make them force you to put a shirt on. And don't think being the former president of the United States will save you. Man, this might be the craziest indictment Trump has received yet. Police even checked to see if life-size mascots were people wearing costumes. The CCP is ridiculous at the best of times. But seeing Chinese authorities arrest superheroes like Spider-Man and Batman reminds me of how cartoonishly evil the CCP is. Chinese police arresting Deadpool is also telling. They hate people who won't shut up. Those rounded up were required to register their names, ID numbers, and phone numbers with police before being released. I hope when this Batman got arrested, he just said his name was Vengeance. Chinese authorities have been preparing for this since even before Halloween officially started. Earlier this month, leaked Chinese internal notices posted on social media show that Shanghai police, urban management officials, and business owners planned strict controls to prohibit cosplay and Halloween makeup. The CCP doesn't want people going door to door scaring folks. That's the CCP's job. But that's not all. Halloween-related terms and even English, just any old English, are both banned from promotional material, both online and offline. And local businesses are required to submit plans for their Halloween decorations in advance. Can these businesses just say, those cobwebs aren't decorations, we just have a massive spider problem? Meanwhile, horror or violence-related elements will not be allowed. Ironic, considering the Communist Party has a long history of horror and violence. Universities also took part in the crackdown in mid-October. They issued notices telling their students not to participate in large gatherings, likely because they'd be in trouble if their students got in trouble. One student at Fudan University told the BBC that a school counselor called asking if the student had gone out or participated in any activities and warning against revealing affiliation to the university. And of course, the Great Firewall got involved by censoring Weibo searches about Halloween in Shanghai. But none of this stopped people from celebrating the forbidden holiday. In Shanghai, the party started at Julu Road, but when the cops showed up, like tons of them, many cosplayers moved to Zhongshan Park, even though it was supposed to be closed. Again, the police crashed the party. But that didn't stop the chill vibes. I'm starting to think the only safe costume would be dressing up like a police officer, though I'm pretty sure that's a separate crime. Tons of people took pictures and sang songs. The crackdown on Halloween celebrations being seen in Shanghai and Hangzhou is par for the course in communist China. After all, the CCP has a standing official dislike of imported Western festivals. On top of that, China gets really antsy whenever large groups of people gather without state permission, especially when they wear masks or makeup. Facial recognition software doesn't do too well with those. It's even worse if they use costumes to send political messages. Or to, I don't know, mock the Chinese surveillance state. I don't know if they went trick-or-treating, but if they came to my house, I'd give them full-sized candy bars. This was a big problem for the CCP last Halloween. Lots of cosplayers dressed up as Winnie the Pooh. Just as a reminder, this is somehow a radical political statement in China, which just goes to show how cartoonishly fragile Xi's ego is. Meanwhile, others wore COVID-themed costumes to mock China's draconian zero-COVID policies. Remember, this was just a year after China lifted its insane COVID lockdowns. This is clearly the scariest thing most Chinese citizens could think of. It was also just a year after the 2022 White Paper protests, which called for Xi Jinping and the Communist Party to step down. And people used Halloween in 2023 to commemorate that protest, as well as to criticize China's poor economic performance, among many other social and political issues. This guy is supposed to be Lu Xun, a famous Chinese writer and social critic, saying, quote, "I hope China's youth can get rid of cynicism before the police stopped him." I don't know why that's such a positive message, unless you cynically think he's being sarcastic. And can I just say, a Lu Xun Halloween costume. In America, we mostly just use Halloween as an excuse to see women dressed as sexy Pikachu or whatever. So you can see why there were crackdowns this year. In 2024, people still have every reason to criticize the government. Despite the claims state-run media is throwing out there, China's economy continues to tank. Here's a great costume of China's economy. Youth unemployment is ridiculously high, and people with jobs might die from organ failure from overwork. There's mass pay cuts and layoffs, which are exacerbated with China spooking foreign businesses. Because again, in China, every day is Halloween. So yeah, Chinese people have lots of reasons to be upset. So the last thing the CCP wants is for angry people to vent their frustrations in a way that undermines their rule, such as, say, entertaining freedom, which is the scariest thing to the CCP. In general, the only large gatherings with silly costumes and violent themes China's okay with are the kind that worship the CCP. China, however, is allowing certain exceptions through the cracks of the crackdown. Shanghai Disney Resort is celebrating Halloween and letting their guests dress up there. Happy Valley Amusement Park is also celebrating Halloween. I guess even in communist China, the most powerful and terrifying force of all is still money. And once again, thank you to all of you who are helping make the new censorship-free China Uncensored premium website a reality. October 31st is the last call for you to claim exclusive rewards for your contributions. So visit givesendgo.com/China Uncensored, pledge your support, and leave a comment for me to read. And before YouTube kicks you to a random video, I've been trying to get around YouTube censorship by hiding controversial topics in gaming content on my new gaming channel. Check out the latest about the grooming of adolescents in the new game Life is Strange Double Exposure. Don't tell YouTube. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.